All right, guys, we're back again with another one. That's right, it's me, Rob, for Traversal ENT. Listen, the work rate is crazy. I'm going to be releasing them on a regular basis. Listen, there is no reason why content creators on any social media platform should not be putting in serious work and releasing serious work because you have time. It's one thing COVID's brought to everyone, time. With that being said, it can be a little bit hard because there's not as much content, but you go dig and you find it. Let me talk about a fighter who, in my opinion, this is what you call wasted potential personified. Personified. I'm talking about none other than Chris Eubank Jr. None other than Chris Eubank Jr. Guys, let me tell you something. Whether you're a Chris Eubank Jr. supporter or you dislike him, it's irrelevant. The facts speak for itself. In the United Kingdom, Chris Eubank Jr. was considered and is considered a very entertaining fighter. There is not a promoter out there in the UK who would not want to promote someone like a Chris Eubank Jr. He has almost everything you need a fighter to have: charisma, personality, persona and character. He's mysterious and mystique. He has potential, but he hasn't fulfilled it yet. He's taken a loss. He's changed his trainer. He's now working with Roy Jones. How is he going to come back? All these questions that could generate money. You see, when you're asking all these questions, it generates revenue. Full stop. Listen, I can put myself in the shoe of a promoter and look at fighters with the eye of a promoter. Everything I've just mentioned about Chris Eubank Jr. right now generates revenue. Now, listen, to be fair to Chris Eubank, he entrusted a lot of his career decisions to his father. And I have to tell you right now, looking at how that's played out, it was the wrong decisions he took in terms of his boxing career. Not in terms of his personal finance, because he personally could be making a lot of money, or he might have amassed a few, good paychecks with the fights he's had. And he's probably got a house. I know he's got a house in Brighton. Whatever. That's his personal life. We don't see that. I'm talking about his boxing career. His boxing career, he's seen as a... No disrespect to you, Chris Eubank, but you're almost seen as a no account. Fighters look at you and they think, there's no point going in a ring with someone like you. You've got a crazy engine. You're going to make me fight my head off, and I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to be on my bike trying to box you all night. Yeah, I feel like I can beat you because boxing you is your kryptonite. We all know Chris Eubank Jr.'s kryptonite so far. You box him, you win. It's as simple as that. You stand and you trade with him, you lose. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You box him, you win. You stand, you trade with him, you lose. He's vicious when he's in the pocket. But if you box him, you get the best of him majority of the times. So we know his kryptonite. So it's down to Chris Eubank Jr. to show us something. But this guy has been inactive for the longest time. His last fight, wasn't it against Kubrat Pulev? I'm just confirming that. Not Kubrat Pulev, I beg your pardon. That's who Josh was fighting. Do you know what it is? You get confused with the names, isn't it? Korobov, that's the one. Yeah, it was Matt Korobov. I think you need to Google that. It was Matt Korobov. The guy who also fought, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Matt Korobov also fight Jamal Charlo? Right. So Eubank Jr. was fighting against Matt Korobov. Round one, from what I remember, I mean, it's been a while since I watched that fight now. It's back in December 2019. Round one, from what I remember, Matt Korobov looked pretty comfortable and he had won that round. And then round two, I think Korobov's leg gave way or whatever it was. He was injured, basically, and the fight was called off. Obviously, Eubank Jr. retains his title. Listen, you've had one fight. Guys, look, I'm going to tell you how sad it is. Look, it's a sad state of affairs. Listen up, yeah? It's a sad case here. It's really sad. I'll show you what I'm talking about, yeah? Chris, listen, I'm pulling up his box, Rick. Chris Eubank Jr. Right, I've got his box Rick up. He's fight. Okay, so he typically fights. I'm only going to go from 2018. I'm not looking before that. He typically fights twice a year, right? So he fought James DeGale back in February. Then he fought February, right? That was a 2019. You fought James DeGale February. Okay, cool. March, April, May, June. You should have fought again in the summer. Why did you not fight again in the summer? If you fight at the start of the year, at your age, you can't be letting time slip past you. It's too crucial. Now, you see, Chris Eubank Jr. knows everything I'm saying. It's like he doesn't know this. He knows this, but what are you doing about it? That's what I'm trying to find out. You fought in February. Where the hell was you in spring, summer period? Nowhere to be seen. Then you get yourself a fight at the end of the year, December, against Matt Kurabov. That's a big gap. Listen, you will get forgotten about in the boxing world if you don't stay relevant or beat the best competition in your last fights. It's just how it goes. We're talking about a guy who was co-headlining main events with Matchroom, on Matchroom with AJ. I remember there was a card where you had Anthony Joshua's the final fight, the last fight of the night. Fight before that, Chris Eubank Jr. That fight, that pay-per-view was absolute fire. When you got Chris Eubank Jr. fighting, it's high energy, it's entertaining. It's like a gladiator. He's like a gladiator. He fights like a gladiator. So he's gonna get you glued to your TV screen. You're not taking a tea break. You're not even going to the bathroom to pee. The guy is crazy entertaining. Very entertaining fighter. After that AJ fight, come on, you can't give Britain more than that. You literally could not give Britain better than that. And I remember him saying, me and AJ are going to take over Britain. And then I remember Eddie Hearn saying, he's bloody right and all. Quote, he's bloody right and all. And he damn was right if he had stuck to that, stuck to that plan. His dad screws things up because too bougie, according to Eddie Hearn, too bougie. I like Chris Eubank Sr. I like Chris Eubank Jr. I like both of those guys. I think they're great for boxing. But I hate how Chris Eubank Jr.'s career's turned out. It's a joke that guy with that ability could not get a proper trainer to train this guy properly, to be able to box properly, and not only that, but on the management side, they couldn't manage this guy well. And your dad is Chris Eubank Sr.? Guys, in life, I hope people can take something from this. Don't burn bridges in life. Don't burn bridges in life because you won't be fed. It's as simple as that. You're going to struggle to get fights when you've absolutely not screwed over, but when you've peed off promoters to the point where they don't want to have any dealings with you, you're screwed. Fighters, you need the promoters as much as they need you. It's as simple as that because a lot of these fighters can't market themselves. Terence Crawford can't market himself to save his life. These guys barely open their mouth. They never talk about what they're going to do to another fighter. I'll squash him. I'll bring him. I'll do this. I'll do that. He can't test me. I'm the best fighter in the world. They ain't got the Muhammad Ali in the speech. They're so PG with it. Everyone's an Anthony Joshua nowadays in terms of being all correct in the public and whatnot. Chris Eubank Jr. had some attitude too. I mean, he wasn't a major talker either. I don't get it. He just sit there and look hard, but he had that mystique that I like. At least he had that, and he wanted you to be the aggressor. He wanted you to be the antagonist. He wanted you to talk trash to him in a press conference because he knew that sold the fight. Smart guy. But you're only fighting at the start of the year, the end of the year. What are you doing in between? 2017, in my opinion, was Chris Eubank Jr.'s best year. He knocked out Avni Yildirim. Great fight. I watched it. I was very impressed with that fight, mind you, Although I knew Yildirim is not a boxer, I knew he was going to come and slug it, which I knew was death sentence. You come and slug it with Chris Eubank Jr., you're not winning that fight. Simple as that. You're going to get uppercutted to the... You're just not winning that fight. He's a tough guy. If you're his weight class, and Yildirim, to be honest, if he's a bigger guy than Chris Eubank Jr., Eubank Jr. had to go into super middle. It was a super middleweight fight, correct me if I'm wrong, right? It was for the super middleweight title, the IBO. Before that, he beats another similar guy to Yildirim in Arthur Abraham. Great fight. He gets another super middleweight fight. Before that, he beats Reynold Quinlan. I like that fight. I thought it was a good fight. Look at the time gap. He fought Quinlan February. He fought Abraham July. He fought Yildirim October. Fantastic schedule for a boxer. 2020. Has anyone heard Chris Eubank Jr.'s name yet? Only yesterday did I see an interview with him. And he sounds desperate to get back in the ring. But young man, listen. Take your career by your hands. Grab it. I know we're in a bubble, but you need to be hounding promoters. You need to be on the phone. Stop letting your management do anything for you. You're a grown man. Pick up the phone. Call up promoters. Say, Eddie Hearn, look, you got that backyard boxing thing going on? I want to fight. Give me someone. Eddie Hearn ain't going to say, no, I don't want to work with you because you're dad. Are you mad? He's going to take anything he can right now. We're in a bubble. You take what you got. Pick up the phone, call Bob Arum, make this fight happen for me. Forget my dad, forget my management team. I'm talking to you direct. I want the fight. Let's go. You need to be relevant because I can't believe how far down the pecking order this guy's fallen. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm actually speaking as a Chris Eubank Jr. fan right now. It does not make any sense to me how far down the pecking order you've gone. I don't get that. Now, he's chasing the Jamal Charlo fight. That's not a good fight for you, Chris. You can't lose against someone like George Groves and think you're going to beat a Jamal Charlo. It doesn't work like that. Now, okay, right. You've got a new trainer with Roy Jones Jr., right? We want to see what that looks like. You're not going to test that against one of the best in Jamal Charlo. Do you want to finish your career? Now, I'm not saying if you weren't properly trained, you wouldn't be able to put up a challenge. You'll be competitive, but I'm sorry, I don't see you winning that fight. And you can't afford to lose a big fight. Otherwise, you become an Amir Khan. No defense to Amir Khan, but this is a guy who was a good fighter, but he could never win the most important fights in his career. You are becoming that same person, and you don't need to. Manage your career a bit better. Stop being too brave, too macho for your own good. Understand your limitations. If you've got a new trainer, you need to sample out what you've learned in the ring. Not in sparring, in the ring. There's a difference between the ring and sparring. Practice what you've learned in the ring, but you don't go and challenge someone like Jamal Charlo, someone like even Canelo Alvarez ain't accepting the fight yet as we speak. Are you kidding me? That's like you fighting Canelo tomorrow. And to be fair, Canelo's a better suit for you than Jamal Charlo because Canelo will stand in front of you to fight you. He'll try and show you that he's the big dog, which will work in your favor. I think Eubank Jr. against Canelo is an awesome fight. I'll get up from the dead, wake up from my grave to watch that fight. But you against Jamal Charlo, that is not a good matchup for you. Jamal will box you if he needs to, mate. And he'll keep you outside his jab and he will hurt you. You was hurt in the George Groves fight. Jamal will hurt you worse. Unless Roy Jones taught you something that I ain't seen, but you don't go trying to find out against someone like Jamal. Stop chasing that fight. My God, there's so many guys you could be fighting. So many guys you could be fighting, and you're chasing Jamal Charlo. God, I'm running out of things to say about Chris Eubank Jr. Eddie Hearn, make some money. Give Eubank Jr. a call. Don't forget his dad for a minute. Call him directly. Offer him a fight. Eddie Hearn, help him out. Because you can make some money with this kid. You can manage this kid. He's making a doo-doo out of himself in terms of how he's managing his career. You could help this kid out. Eddie Hearn, you hearing me? Do something for the kid. Do something for the kid. Because when he was co-headlining your Matchroom main events, It was the best thing in Britain. And you know what I'm talking about. The fans are fickle. They forget. I don't forget stuff like that. Give him a shout. Eubank Jr., pick up the phone, call Eddie Hearn. Or call Mr. Heyman and get another fight sorted for yourself and get it done fast. I know you're talking about that. That's what you said in your interview. Don't just talk. Get it done. It's for your own sake, Chris Eubank Jr. We love you as a fighter, but boy, you need to get in that ring. You need to get in that ring and do what you do best. I'm out. It's all for controversial.